Hey guys, so on her very first video, she talked about two granddaughters, and I am one of her granddaughters.
This was my first granddaughter, Riley Grace. I called her Angel, and she calls me Lolly, which is why this is called Lolly's World. So,
and I have a little baby named Elliot Rose Stevens.
Yes. Now tonight we are actually making flautas. And I know that some people have been waiting on this video. We are actually warming up the tortillas right now. The way that you start is you warm up your corn tortillas.
You put some salt and then put your tortillas on.
Yep, the salt is always so that they won't stick to the pan. So we are warming up our corn tortillas, and then when we're done, we're going to put them into foil, wrap them in foil, and put them in a Ziploc bag. I do that to keep them warm. I actually had a tortilla warmer from Pampered Chef that worked wonderfully. They were so hot. Oh my gosh. But I lost it here in the house. So no idea where that is. But anyway, so in the meantime, I wrap these in foil and stick them in a Ziploc bag so that they stay soft, because then you can roll them. You could microwave them. However, whenever you do that, for some reason they tear when you're trying to fill them. So we try, I prefer to warm them up on my pan. Riley's showing you right there. One of the other things when you're making flautas is that you always want to have some place for them to land after. So, sorry. But anyway, you have to have a place for them to land. So I have a pan, a small pan with some paper towels, so that once they come out of the grease, they go right into there and they can start draining a little bit. The first kind of flautas that we're going to make tonight are actually barbecued flautas. I know that's kind of weird. Riley's showing you the things that we're going to need. So we have about 2 cups right here of pulled pork. And then we have some barbecue sauce, which will be used for dipping after. We have some barbecue seasoning. This is called butt rub. So anyway, we are going to use all of these. So you know how people make barbecue nachos all the time? Well, we're making barbecue flautas. And then you can dip them into your favorite barbecue sauce. One of the other things is that you can dip them into cheese if you want to. We like to put onions and jalapenos inside of each flauta with the pulled pork for us as adults, and then for Riley, we will not put them in there. And she will dip into either the cheese or the barbecue sauce with just the barbecue and the flauta itself.
And
sorry.
And guys, Lala, before we start this whole entire thing, I think we're forgetting something.
What?
Please hit the subscribe button.
Oh, yeah.
And hit the bell. So let's get started.
Thank you. We will be right back with you. We're going to get a few things ready for you guys, okay?
So, hey guys, and always ask for parents' permission to do all this stuff. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay,
while Riley is cutting up some veggies, she's going to cut up the jalapenos and the onions for me. She loves helping in the kitchen and get things cut up for me. I'm going to get some canola oil, and I'm using a shallow pan. It's very shallow. I've already had it heating up a little bit, and I'm heating it away from her just because she's working right there. But I'm going to heat up the canola oil, and I'm just going to do enough to... let's see. I'll tell you what, I'm going to measure it for you guys. She's going to cut up this jalapeno. She's cutting it in long strips like this so that each one goes into the flauta, okay?
And guys, I forgot to tell y'all something. So when you do this, when you touch them, don't touch your eyes unless you wash them really good before you do anything. Okay?
So I'm using about half a cup of canola oil, And that is, usually I don't measure, but for you guys I wanted to measure because you don't want your flauta to be just drowning in the oil. You want it to be enough that it's going to crisp up one side of it. Then you're going to flip it over and get the other side crispy, okay?
And let's get started. So we're going to cut this butt off. Yeah, it's really funny, I think. So we're just going to put that maybe to the side there. And what you need to do is split it in half, just like this.
Very good, Riley. Yeah, she's cutting the jalapeno in half. Then she's going to take each half and cut it in strips, just so that you have, the thin strips for each flauta. She's going to do the same thing with the onion, and she's going to cut that into strips so that we can also put a strip of jalapeno and a strip of onion in each one along with the pulled pork. And like I said, that's for adults who want it that way. You don't have to do that. If there's...
Something burned.
Uh-oh, sorry. It was probably this, baby. I'm sorry. Uh-oh.
And always be careful, because when you're doing this and your elbow's right here, it might still be a little bit hot.
Yeah, be careful, definitely, always with the heat. With the oil, this is something that normally when Riley helps me make flautas, because she does help me a lot with that, I usually handle the oil part of it, and I try to keep it away from her. However, I had this burner on, and that's why she didn't touch the burner or the grate. She actually touched the edge of the stove right here, and it was still a little bit hot, so sorry about that. Anyway, you can actually think about anything that you would want on top of your barbecue nachos. You can put that inside the flauta. You just want to make sure that it's a small portion and enough that you can roll it up well.
And guys, if you can't really, if it was just imagine this a big piece and it was hard to cut it because it kept on moving. You can actually, I learned this right now, you can actually turn it to back and cut it.
Yeah, you can flip it over. Whatever's most comfortable for you with the jalapenos. And then, like I said, the onions, the same thing. We're looking for long strips, okay? So I'm going to stop the video right now while we let the oil warm up and let Riley finish with the ingredients that we're slicing. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the actual rolling. Our tortillas are still in the plastic bag, so they're still staying soft so that we can roll them, okay?
Okay, so hey guys. So I already got these cut up, and we're just gonna get started. And make sure you get a little bit, it'll be in the middle where you have, some room.
Right, you never want to overfill a flauta because you definitely want to leave space to roll it. So you want to put about what's equivalent to maybe, just like that, just in the middle, really. So as long as... you can roll it up. That's all that matters. You're going to put one strip of jalapeno in there.
I know.
If that's what you want. And then a strip of onion, just like Riley's doing right now. If that's what you want.
And if you want something different, you can always put something different on here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to add one more.
Okay.
And now we're going to start rolling. Make sure when you roll, you don't just leave them in the middle. You always have to, you roll and then scoot them out. I'll show you.
Take out one onion. That might be just a little bit too much. Okay. Okay, so...
And I bring it up there, and then I bring it back.
Okay, so let's just talk about something real quick, okay? A lot of people put toothpicks into a flauta to keep it closed while they fry it. I don't normally do that. What I do is when we roll it towards ourselves, and look how it stays down there so that it stays shut. Then she'll do a few more.
And then...
Go ahead and get another tortilla and do it again.
And if they accidentally tear, it's okay.
Right.
Because
Yeah, if you see that your tortilla tore, now I did not use the brand that I normally use for this because they're Flauta. So when you fry them, it's okay if it's not the great brand. Don't put too much in there. Make sure you spread it out kind of thin. Okay.
And sometimes if, like, your family say you're a professional cook, you're not always that. But sometimes you have to need help sometimes.
That's right. Everybody needs help. Okay, so we've got enough pork in there. We're going to add our little special ingredients for Rogelio. And then we're going to roll. All right, now, oh, you rolled it one too many times, so it's coming undone. Be real careful. You're going to roll it once, roll it twice, and scoot it back. Let's try that again. You're going to roll it once, roll it twice, and then scoot it back, okay? Once, twice, and stop, scoot it back. Okay, now her flauta here came broke in the middle. That's okay. I'll handle that when frying. It should still stay together. If it does tear and that makes it difficult for you, go ahead and just start over on another tortilla. That's why this Milagro brand that I normally use, this wouldn't be happening. But because these are the thinner one time, there you go. Scoot it back. There you go. And that's how we're going to roll them. So she's going to roll them until we get to the end here. And then I'm going to start frying them. So we're going to stop the video for now and we'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm actually ready to start frying these. I wanted to point something out real quick. Whenever I'm going to fry these, I pick them up with tongs. And whenever I do, I'm going to pick it up. Well, I pick it up with my hands first, of course. And I'm going to grab it on the part that is keeping it closed, okay? This keeps me from having to use a toothpick. Then when I go into my oil, I'm going to use a fork because sometimes these tongs will dig into the tortilla and they'll get stuck. And then whenever you put them in the oil, it falls apart. So I'm doing a few at a time. And I'm going to use my fork as I let go so that it stays on that section in the back, keeping it closed, kind of like an envelope, okay? Every once in a while, a tortilla is going to unroll when you're doing it. That's okay. Just roll it back up. Try to get them as tight as you can. This one's a little bit tighter, as you can see. It's just rolled up like this. And you're going to put it in the oil. Use your fork to let it go. Keep them real close together in your pan because that keeps them from unraveling, okay? I'm only going to do 4 at a time. She did 8, so I'm going to do 4 at a time. And basically, remember, my oil is not covering the flautas. They're just like halfway through, and you can see where it's starting to brown on the side. And you're going to let them fry just for a bit. I'm trying to use a little tripod, so it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. And remember, you're going to have your area where they're going to go ready on this side. I'm going to go ahead and flip them. Ooh, my oil's a little bit hot. But like I said, the meat's cooked, so that's fine. And these got a little bit darker than what I like for them to get. When you flip them over, if they happen to open up a little bit, again, don't worry about it. Keep them real close together in the pan. Let me show you this. Keep them real close together in the pan because they'll help each other stay closed. And this is just to eliminate the need for toothpicks. If you feel like you need to use toothpicks, go ahead. I certainly wouldn't judge.
And hey guys, so I was just with my grandpa a little bit. Just hang out because I haven't seen him in a while.
Okay, but now she's back, thank goodness. And I'm going to let her sprinkle on the seasoning once I take them out. Always try to sprinkle whatever you're going to use, if it's salt or some kind of seasoning. Try to use it while they're still hot. But whatever you do, don't touch them. We're going to put them in there to drain. And then we're going to sprinkle them with the seasoning.
And also, you really need pants for this part because you don't want to sprinkle too much.
Right, so you're just going to lightly sprinkle.
And
So I'm going to go ahead and take these out. Like I said, the fire was a little hot, so they got a little darker than I intended them to. But you can see it didn't take much time at all. Our meat's already cooked, so we're not worried about that part. But let me move this pan close to y'all so you can see it. So this is how they look. And like I said, they're a little bit dark. And then she's just going to sprinkle the seasoning all over them, the barbecue seasoning. Ooh. Wow. So that was about 4 times too much seasoning. They're too hot right now for me to shake it off, but that's okay. Hey, things happen. Things happen. We won't do that again. And next time Lolly will do it, so that'll help a little bit. But anyway, so either way though, this would be the actual flauta, and then I'm going to show you about the presentation of these in a minute. Never put that much seasoning. Okay, never, ever, ever. As an adult though, we all know we sprinkle sideways so that just a little bit comes on at a time. Never pour it over. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to do the other 4 really quick. I'm going to turn down my fire a little bit since they came out so dark. And we'll see if that helps a little bit. Now let me show you the one that's torn. Once it gets hard, it's not going to come apart. So even though it's torn, I'm going to use my tongs to keep it together. And then I'm going to do the same thing, use my fork. And as it starts getting crispy, it's going to stay closed. So don't worry about that part. Here's another one. Putting it in there. And meanwhile, I'm going to try, now that these have cooled just a tad, to knock off some of this barbecue seasoning. This is actually Rogelio's dinner since we're cooking. Somebody's got to eat all this stuff. So anyway, they've been frying on one side. I tried to flip it and it's coming apart a little bit. It's still, since I turned the fire down now, it's going to take a little bit more time. Make sure y'all can see that. So those are still only on one side. Here's the finished product. Only they have a little bit too much barbecue seasoning on them. But that's okay. How many times have we as adults put way too much salt? The other night I made some soup and Rogelio and I took the first bite and both of us were just like, oh my god. It had so much salt. But I don't get really worked up about anything like that. I told y'all I don't really care that much. That's a bad thing to say. But it's just the truth. Things happen. Like I said in all my other videos, I'm just kind of real. Things happen. Okay, so I flipped these over and they did stay shut. Sorry, I took the camera off of that. They did stay shut, so looks like they're doing good. Come here, baby. And I was trying to decide, I think I'm going to make a few more since we have too much seasoning on one. And we still never made the ones with just the pork for Riley. So, Angel, do you want onion in yours?
No.
No? So see, you can make these however you want to.
I don't want peppers.
Okay. No peppers or onion for Riley. So you can make these however you want to. These make a great little appetizer if you're having like a party or something. I usually make, like, I pack Rogelio's lunch every day. And for his lunch, I'll send him a dozen of these. He shares with his friends.
And they love it.
Which is another story that I'm not going to talk about. But every day I pack lunch for 3 people. because they all share. And so I pack 12 flautas in packages of 4 because even though he's sharing his lunch, they also share theirs. So what that means is that he would only get 4 of them. So I pack enough for him to share, and they give him some of their food, so it all works out. It looks like I'm gonna need just a little bit more oil, and I'm gonna let that heat up because I'm doing some more of these kind because we didn't do Riley's. I'm gonna go ahead and add the spice on myself on these. So you're really just gonna lightly sprinkle that. Hey guys, I just wanted to, yes.
Can we spice up this party a little bit?
Are you bored?
Yeah. Let's spice this little place up a little bit.
Well, okay.